Hi everyone, I'm Shannon and welcome to today's video. So today's video, I would say I'm excited, but I'm kind of not. I'm actually a little annoyed, and this is going to be, the first portion of this video will be a rant, but we're going to talk about the Pat McGrath, oops, upside down. It is the Pat McGrath Mega Palette for Holiday 2024, and it is the Luminous Legends. She comes out with a, I guess it's been since like 2021, maybe 2020, where she's come out with a Mega Palette. I've really never been interested in them. There was one year that I got it, and I just, you know, I ended up like not keeping it. Last year there wasn't a Mega Palette. There was like two large face palettes, which I did review, and I ended up decluttering them. I didn't think they were that great. What I love is her 5 pans, which I have a bunch of them here. So I have the 5 pans, started this like 2 years ago, which I love. I have all of them. There's going to be 2 of those in this collection. And then she's also coming out with 3 duos. So those are also part of this collection. So it's 1 large palette, 2 of the 5 pans, and 3 of the duos. There was a pre-sale. So this is the rant portion. If you want to skip the rant portion, just go down to the timestamps below. But long story short, there was this launched early access on September 27th. I purchased the entire eyeshadow palette collection. I didn't purchase any of the other products just because I just don't need them, nor am I interested in them. And so I ended up getting all of the eyeshadow palettes. There was no promo code, like usually there's a 10% discount, and there's not. And there was no bundles. So, but I still went ahead and purchased all of them. And I even did extra expedited shipping so that I could hopefully get it, you know, quick and do these videos. Then it never shipped, and it did state on the website that all of these orders would ship by October 4th, not, you know, on October 4th, not, you know, near October 4th. It said by October 4th. October 4th was almost a week ago, and it hasn't shipped, nor have I gotten any sort of notification. I actually emailed the customer service. They said, oh, it's going to be shipping tomorrow. It's going to be shipping. Oh, it didn't get to ship out. It's going to ship out tomorrow. And they gave me like a tomorrow 3 times. And then they finally did refund my money for the expedited shipping. And they just said like, okay, yes, you know, it's been so popular, but the items are still on sale. So the items are still on sale on the website, but they haven't fulfilled the orders from the early access launch. And so there's that. And then now, to add insult to injury, they're offering a bundle. So the bundle, if you buy all 6 palettes, is $32 cheaper. There is a $32 discount. It goes down from $227 to $195 if you purchase it. So honestly, I thought that was a real big, you know, middle finger to the fans of the brand that, you know, love the brand and go into early access and purchase things. Now, maybe some people purchased 1 or 2 products and it wasn't going to be a bundle, so it didn't affect them, but it affected me. And then plus, again, they're offering this bundle, but they also haven't fulfilled the orders that people have, and I'm not the only one. The only ones that have gotten orders from what I'm seeing is people that are out of the country. People that are out of the country have gotten their orders. I know Charlotte Hardcoff got this palette and 1 duo, a couple other people that I've seen, but everybody else, they're in the same boat, whether they ordered 1 or 2 products or whether they ordered the whole collection. So really bad customer service. Like, I've heard about the customer service. I wasn't around during the whole Divine Rose thing, and I heard about that. I was not a part of that. But I've always had pretty good experiences with their customer service, but this launch has been bad. So the reason why I got this palette is because this palette launched on Sephora on October 4th. So a full week after it was the early access, it launched on Sephora and Ulta. I ended up purchasing it at Ulta, and honestly, I was shocked it got here in one piece, which it did. It came in an envelope, but it came here, it got here okay. And I actually got it 2 days ago. I was just in the path of Hurricane Milton, so I couldn't record. But so I ordered it a week after. I didn't pay extra expedited shipping. I paid, you know, just got the free shipping through Ulta, and I got here. So I originally was like, I'll order it, and if I get it, you know, at the same time, I'll just return the one from Ulta. But now obviously return the one to Pat McGrath because I've used this one, and you know, it is what it is. So So that's why I say I'm not so excited about this video, because I still want to review it. It's a beautiful palette and I am excited about it. But this whole experience, especially with customer service, has really left a sour taste in my mouth with the brand. So I would say, you know, if you can, wait for Ulta and Sephora. You get points, you get coupons, you have, you know, you can use, you know, whatever rewards. And the Pat McGrath's customer service sucks. But now, rant over, let's get into the palette. Okay, so as I mentioned, this is the Luminous Legends Mega Eyeshadow Palette. This is the box, and then this is the palette. So the box and the palette match. And I actually really like the red. It's very Christmas-y, great, very holiday. And then here is the palette. I have already done my swatches, but here is the palette. Now, one thing I will notice that first thing I noticed when I saw the pictures, but then when I got it, I immediately noticed it's the same formula as the 5 pans. The 5 pans, I think the Mega palettes in the past have been like US made. I don't remember, but I know they weren't made in Italy. That's one thing I can tell you. They maybe were like assembled in the US or made, you know, something else, but they weren't made in Italy. These were made in Italy, and I've always loved these. I think the quality is fantastic. This is the same formula from what I can tell. This is also made in Italy. So I think that, and I thought that because the pan sizes were the same as the 5 pans. So this is the palette. Now, I love this. I saw it, I thought it was great. There's like 4 mattes, and then it's got a lot of shimmers. And one of the reasons why I love those 5 pans is you kind of got a matte, but you got a lot of different colors. And sometimes like on vacation, I'll take like 1 or 2, depending on like what I'm wearing, like on a cruise or something. This is something that I could see myself taking like on a cruise, to be able to have some fun shades. You know, you've got some 4 mattes that are really good, basic, you know, transition shades, smoky shades, etc. But then you've got a lot of like shimmers and stuff to play around with. So I do love this. I'm very excited about it. Again, $76, but again, just buy it on Sephora or Ulta. Okay, so I did go ahead and do swatches in the natural sunlight, because I think that gives you the best representation of the swatches. So what I'll say is the quality is Pat McGrath quality, and it's the same quality in these 5 pans that have come out before. So that's where I felt like, okay, these are definitely the same formula. So here are the shades from left to right. We have Golden Muse, Rose Afterglow, Flame Fatale, Sunkissed Rose, Stardust Peony, Coral Caress, Bordeaux Brilliance, Orchid Opulence, Moonlit Mist, Platinum Lilac, Honey Nectar, Celestial Cerulean, Gilded Bronze, Lunar Luxury, and Sable Seductress. So some of these shades really, I think, are stunning. The couple that really stood out to me was this Celestial Cerulean is gorgeous, this Orchard Opulence in the middle, and then of course it's this Moonlight Mist is gorgeous. So what I wanted to do is, so I don't have any of the other Mega palettes, plus those formulas are going to be different, but I did want to compare it to some of the 5 pans, and I did notice that there's at least 1 repeat shade. I'm going to go through the ones that I saw, but I did find at least 1 repeat shade, which is fine. It's a shade that was from 2 years ago, but it's this shade Lunar Luxury. So Lunar Luxury was in Bronze Bliss. So Bronze Bliss was the one that came 2 years ago. It's the shade that is probably my favorite, and it is the reason why I take this palette with me on every vacation. Here is Lunar Luxury from the Luminous Legends, and then here is Lunar Luxury from the Bronze Bliss. So it's the same shade. I love this shade, it's great. I am a little disappointed that it's the same shade, but you know, this palette's from 2 years ago, but I was very excited about that shade. When I swatched it, I was like, oh, that shade's so gorgeous. It reminds me of that shade. And then when I looked, I was like, oh, it's because it is the same shade. But you know, that was unfortunate, but you know, it is what it is. And there was another shade. It was the, I think, Bronze Illusion. It's the one on the end. Now this is not the same shade, but it's similar. So it's very similar, and it is the one Gilded Bronze. So they're both a bronze. So this is the one from the Bronze Bliss, and then this is going to be the one from the Luminous Legends. So Similar, not the same shade, but very, very close. So those are the shades that are similar in this palette for Bronze Bliss. And then we'll take a look at the other one from 2 years ago, and it's Nude Allure. So Nude Allure, I think the only one that's kind of similar is this Coral Kiss in the middle. And we'll go ahead and swatch that one. There's a couple that are more, similar too. So that's Coral Kiss. And then in the Luminous Legends, this is Stardust Peony. So again, very similar, but not the exact shade. And then we'll go ahead and swatch this one right here, which is which is Plum Eclipse. And then in the Luminous Legends, it is Bordeaux Brilliance. So this is gonna be, this is gonna be the one from, I forgot what, Nude Allure. And this is the one from Luminous Legends. So this one's got a little bit more punch. So I think if you have Nude Allure, it's gonna be, enough of a difference. However, there is at least one shade that's the same, and then another shade that is very, very similar. So again, it's from 2 years ago. A lot of people maybe don't have it, but I was kind of disappointed that that was the same shade. Okay, so now we're gonna move over to the Star Wars collection. So there was 3 in the Star Wars collection. Again, I have all 3. This is the C3PO, and this one has, I would say it's not that close, but the blue here. So this was Secret Blueprint, and then I know a lot of people were gonna be wanting to test that one, and it's not the same shade, but I did wanna swatch them. They're pretty close, and I mean, how many blue eyeshadows do you need? So this is the one from the C3PO, and this is the one from the Luminous Legends. To be honest, I like the ones from the Luminous Legends more than I like the one in the C3PO. And then there's also the 2 bronzes. So this is the one in the C3PO. This is the one in the Luminous Legends. This one's a lot lighter. So again, similar, but not the same. And then that Astro Lime shade. This is the Astro Lime, and this is the Golden Muse. So again, similar. So again, if you have this, there's some similarities, but you're not gonna get the same look. Next, we have the Darth Vader one, and there's 2 shades in here that are similar. It's the blue one and the copper one. I'm just gonna stop looking at the names just because they're not easily accessible, and it's just kind of a waste of the time. So this is the one from the Darth Vader. This is Luminous Legends. Different finish, it's close, very close. And then this is the blue in Darth Vader, and then this is the blue in the dark blue in Luminous Legends. So again, some similarities, but still different enough. Okay, and I'm an idiot, I don't know my Star Wars. This is R2-D2, so there you go. And this is C3PO. So I did know that, I just, forgot. But anyway, this one has quite a few similarities. These 2 coral shades I think are very similar, and this one there's nothing like this. It's even close. And then basically the 2 matte shades are kind of close. So I'll swatch those really quick. So here are the matte shades. So this is the one from the C3PO. This is the one from Luminous Legends. So, once you get it swatched, it's a little bit different. And then here is the one, the bronze or the light brown from the C3PO. And then this is the one from Luminous Legends. So, I think again, they're gonna give you a little bit of a different look. And I don't think a lot of people pick these up either. Okay, and now we're moving to the 4 palettes from last year. So the first one is going to be Sunset Romance. Sunset Romance does have a duplicate shade. It is this shade Sun-Kissed Rose, which is a mauve rose. It is a matte. So I'll swatch those here. This is the one from the Sunset Romance from last year. This is this year's palette. So this year's obviously is going to swatch better. And then the other 2 shades that I thought, or there's at least 1 shade. This is the Mink Mirage in the middle. I think that one's very similar. So we have, there's Mink Mirage, and I'll get the shade. This is the one from the bottom. So this is Honey Hector, or Honey Nectar. So very similar. And then there's a couple other shades that I think, like this matte is very close to one of the other mattes. This is one of the shades from last year. This is one of the shades from this year, a little bit lighter. So if you have Sunset Romance, a lot of the shades are duplicate from this little 5 pan from last year in this 15 pan. So, for me, it probably wouldn't matter, but if you have this, that's something just to know before you purchase. And another duplicate shade is in the Bronze Ecstasy. So this is the Honey Nectar. I just swatched it in the other palette, so the other one has a similar shade, but this one is a duplicate. So this is the one from last year's palette, and this is the one from this year's. Obviously this year's is gonna swatch better, but again, so if you have Bronze Ecstasy, and some of these shades are similar, so this brown is gonna be deeper, but they're gonna be very similar. There is no champagne in this palette here, so that's one of the things I felt was missing. And then, so again, some of the shades, it's just one of those things. Again, it's just make sure you are aware if you're going to purchase it, that if you have this, you're getting one of those shades as a duplicate. Now for the two that have like the least amount of shades that are similar are the Bordeaux Bliss, which actually really has nothing compared to it. I actually looked and I swatched a bunch and there really isn't anything that's close. So Bordeaux Bliss, you're pretty much good to go. And then the Lunar Nightshade, which I loved. I thought it was such a unique color story. There really is only that blue, but the blue is so different from the two blues in here. So I'll swatch all three. The other shades are not similar at all. So I'll go ahead and swatch all three shades here. So this is the Lunar Nightshade or that shade, like this teal, and then here are the two blues in the Luminous Legends. So there you go. So they're very different. So these two, Lunar Nightshade and Bordeaux Bliss, if you have these, there's nothing really that's, maybe something close, but nothing that's even like close to a dupe. Okay, so we know that there are 3 repeat shades at least. What I'm gonna do is I did wear a purple shirt, so I'm gonna go in with these 2 shades right here. This is Orchid Opulence, and then this is Platinum Lilac. So I'm going to use those 2 shades, and then I'm going to use this one at the top, the Sunkissed Rose, which is a repeat matte shade, and then probably the deep brown matte just to kind of deepen, and then I'll go in with those 2 shades. So again, this is going to be something where it's not a tutorial, just I know the quality is good. I always love these palettes because I thought the quality, now this is a different formula than what is in her motherships. We didn't get a new mothership this year, which I thought was interesting. I don't know. I know everybody kind of wants a new mothership, but then they kind of complain that the color story hasn't changed, so maybe they decided to take a break from the motherships. I don't know. I do like this setup. I do like the color story. I do like the different types of shades. I am disappointed that there are at least 3 repeat shades just because I have them. But they're repeat shades from limited edition palettes, so I can't really be too upset with that either. So, but this is the Sunkissed Rose. I know I like this shade. I've used it before. It's just a beautiful, beautiful matte, and I do like the matte formula in these palettes. So that is the Sunkissed Rose matte. It's one of the 4 mattes on this palette. Okay, I'm gonna go in with the Sable Seductress, which is that deepest shade. I'm gonna go just really lightly on the outside, just to add a little depth, but I'm not gonna add too much. I just wanna just have a little bit on the outside, just probably more force of habit. And again, these always blend out good, so I'm not really concerned about the quality. Okay, so there is it out, blended out, and I'm gonna go in with this Orchid Opulence, which is really a gorgeous shade. It's got, I don't know if it's a duochrome or not. I'm not really good at that, but it is really pretty. And I think one of the things I like about these palettes, I feel like some of the colors, they're easily wearable. Like I struggle with color, I struggle with, how to wear color, but I feel like these palettes, and that's one of the reasons why I like them, and especially like the 5 pans. So with this formula being the same formula as the 5 pans, I'm really happy with that. So that is the Orchid Opulence. I'm gonna go ahead and do the other eye off camera. Okay, so there is the Orchid Opulence, and what I'm gonna do now is go in with this Platinum Lilac. I'm just gonna go in on the inner corner, just ever so lightly. And ooh, that's gorgeous. That is a gorgeous shade. So yeah, really, really pretty. And again, this is like what I said, I've said this before. One of the reasons why I love these palettes is, and just Pat McGrath in general, is because she makes using these types of shadows very, very easy. Okay, so I'm gonna go in with the that Sun-Kissed Rose and just line the lower lash line. And then what I'm gonna do in the meantime is just kind of put on some mascara and then come back and give you my final thoughts. Okay, so I put some mascara on and I actually love this eye look. I love this color. I was, you know, I'm always nervous about using color, but I think it's gorgeous. I love the two combinations with the purple and the lilac. Gorgeous. I did put a little bit of this on the brow bone and inner corner as well, but honestly, as much as I had an experience with the customer service, and I still don't have these other palettes, and I'm disappointed with the shipping and the customer service from Pat McGrath, the brand itself, I really do love this palette. I think it's gorgeous. I'm really glad that they went with the Made in Italy with the same formula as those other palettes. I think they're great. I am excited to receive the other two 5 pans, excited about that, and even the duos. I think the duos are going to be exciting. So in the comments below, let me know what you think about those videos. How do you want me to do them? Do you want me to do the 2 5 pans separately and then do the 3 duos in a separate video, or do you want me to just combine them all together? Kind of curious. I haven't decided how I want to do it. And you know, I wasn't sure how I was going to do this one, but obviously I'm glad I did it by itself because it really gave me a chance to kind of compare, show you what the other shades were. There are three repeat shades that I know of. So there's 3 repeat shades that I know of, in 2 from last year, 1 from 2 years ago, but I still think it's gorgeous. I still think it's beautiful. And like I said, that Lunar Luxury one, that one doesn't really bother me because it is one of my favorite shades. And this is a palette that I will take with me on vacation. I think it's gorgeous. I can get so many different looks with this palette just because of all the different variety. And like this could be like my one and done on vacation. So I think that's great. $76, I will say, Sephora sales coming up in beginning of November. You know, if you get, you know, 10, 15, 20%, definitely worth, you know, 15%. That's what I get. Even 10% is, you know, $7.60. So that's going to be worth waiting for. And then last year, the last couple years, some of these palettes have ended up going on discount or even ending up in like TJ Maxx. I'm not sure about this one. I think this one's a good one, but we'll see. You know, I would say if there's ever a palette that you really want, you know, then don't depend that it's going to go on sale. You know there's going to be a Sephora sale and stuff like that, but you know, we'll see. But I think it's great. I think it's worth the money. I don't regret getting it. So there's a positive thing to my, you know, poor experience with the customer service. But with that, if you like this video, click like, click and subscribe. That way you get a notification every time I post a new video. Bye everyone.